Prepare yourself for a deep dive into a narrative so explosive, it reverberated across the globe. This is the story that shocked the world. Every generation has an unforgettable moment, a news event where you remember exactly where you were when you heard the initial reports. This is one of those moments. What could possibly cause such universal shock and immediate global attention? It wasn't war or a natural disaster, but something far more complex and insidious. To understand the impact, we must first look at the context, a time of perceived stability, digital interconnection, and a belief in institutional transparency. Then, like a bolt of lightning from a clear sky, the incident began to unfold. A quiet Friday turned into a scramble for information. Initial reports were contradictory, fragmented, and often based on rumor. News channels struggled to keep up with the overwhelming flow of incomplete information. At the center of the unfolding narrative were key figures, politicians, CEOs, and previously unknown whistleblowers, whose lives were immediately thrust into the global spotlight. The general overview painted a picture of unprecedented corruption and systemic failure at the highest levels of power, far beyond what anyone had suspected. The immediate aftermath was one of stunned silence, followed by an explosion of public outrage and demands for accountability. The public reaction was visceral. The media frenzy was immediate and relentless, dominated by nonstop coverage and speculation. Official responses ranged from immediate damage control to promises of swift, thorough investigations to restore public trust. As the investigations deepened, the story took on layer after layer of unbelievable twists and shocking new revelations. The core truth, when finally brought to light, was that the systems designed to protect us were, in fact, the means by which the incident was perpetrated. Motive wasn't simply profit. It involved complex ideologies and unforeseen consequences that fundamentally destabilized global structures. The shockwave didn't just fade. It resulted in a lasting change to how society views power, security, and information. New legislation was drafted, global surveillance measures were reevaluated, and a fundamental shift occurred in public trust toward institutions. Even years later, the story remains a benchmark, a cautionary tale, and a critical lesson in vigilance and accountability. This story is a sobering reminder of human fallibility and the pervasive nature of deceit when power is unchecked. The magnitude of the shockwave created ensured that the world would never look at these fundamental institutions the same way again. Take a moment to reflect. What current stories carry the potential to be the next global shockwave? Stay informed and stay critical.